Hello and welcome to this game review. In this game we will touch upon opening principles, attacked pieces and blunder checks, and also how to play online chess without losing on time. Usually it's connected to playing with increment, as 10 plus 0 is basically blitz chess, which we should try to avoid. So e4, e5, knight c3. So if we're choosing which knight to develop, it's better to develop one on the g1 square, because now we're attacking a piece, a pawn, and we are closer to castling queenside. Knight c3. Here bishop b4 is played, which is a move, but now white plays this very bad move, knight b1. And the reason it's bad is, well, we really don't want to underdevelop our pieces like this, and we're also moving around the same piece twice. So this gives a clear advantage to black because it's his move and he can continue his development. Instead, if we're so scared about doubled pawns, we should at least go forward. But generally this shouldn't really concern us. If he takes, we can just take with the d-pawn, opening up our bishop and the queen, and we will have easy development. So instead knight b1, now white continues development like this, bishop e2. Maybe we should try to develop more actively if possible, but okay. Bishop g4, castles d3. So white is developing properly. Now after b4 and a4, white is the one trying to take the advantage because he has queenside space. a5. Maybe we should keep the pawns here because we're not sure yet if we're gonna play b5 or a5. We still have pieces to develop, like knight b2. The knight can go to c4, the bishop can go to e3, and then we can see what to do next. But okay, a5, and here white plays bishop a3, but the bishop on a3 is really not a great piece. As we can see, it's looking at our pawn. The pawn is not really going to be b5 anytime soon, and even if it is, it's going to be looking at this very well defended d6 pawn. So there was no point in putting the bishop here. Instead, we should probably develop the knight somewhere to c4, and then maybe put the bishop on e3, because this bishop is quite strong and we should try to get rid of it. Bishop a3, knight h5. This is also a problem. The h4 square is weak now that the bishop has moved. Probably white should just go back, but this is hard to admit our mistake. And after d4, white is simply not really ready to open up the center like this. And after knight f4, he has a lot of problems. The main problem being that knight e2 is threatened to take away defenders from the d4 square, which makes white push the pawn further, but this also opens up the bishop. And after knight e7, black has a very nice Italian type of position. Knight bd2, knight eg6, and here white cracks under the pressure, and of course the main threat is probably to take and put the other knight on f4, but here of course the position is not really lost yet. We can try to fight on by taking away the pieces or maybe improving something, but the position is very difficult. Maybe bishop c1 should be played at some point as well. After queen b3, white has forgotten that his bishop is attacked, and now no one is defending this bishop. And after knight e2, there's not really any hope for white until after g3. Black decides to give up the knight for some reason, but at this point already white has 15 seconds, though this is basically the start of the game, and there is basically no chance to survive without increment. If there was at least a 2-second increment, the game would still be going on, but generally I would suggest playing like 15 plus 10 or 30 plus 20, a time control in which we are allowed to think. After knight g3, had white taken back with the f-pawn, now white is only a pawn down, and he does have some pretty good pieces. He can play c4 and c5 to try to take space on the queen side, and even though white doesn't have an f-pawn, his rook is active, so it's not the end of the world. But the game ended like this. At this point, white ran out of time. White actually won on time somehow against 35 seconds for the opponent. But of course, this is all kind of random. The position is lost for white due to g5 or other moves as well, and white's king is extremely weak, and he is also likely to lose a piece here. And so, a bit of a short game. Generally, we should try to play with longer time controls.